So have you ever noticed how climbing the ladder gets way harder after 40, even though you're crushing it at work? Well, it turns out the old rules like loyalty and just putting in the hours, well, they're just the bare minimum these days. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 6 new shifts that will actually move you up in 2026 without burning out or without losing yourself. So number 1, stop competing on experience and start competing on relevance. Now, most professionals over 40 think that their years of service should speak for themselves. But I tell you, in 2026, companies will be rewarding relevance, not just the time served in the job. And danger is you're going to be seen as someone who is capable, but not someone who's ready for what's next. But here's how to solve it. Reframe your narrative around adaptability and the business impact that you bring. Start highlighting how you've evolved, the new systems that you've learned, the digital tools that you've adapted, or the market changes that you've led through. So for example, one director that I coached had 20 years in operations, and he kept saying, I've seen it all. And we rebranded his story to, I've helped 3 plants digitalize their processes, saving 18% on production time. Now that single change shifted him from experienced to strategic. And the outcome was that he was actually promoted to VP within 4 months because senior leadership started to see him as future facing, not just someone stuck in the past. So to recap, do not rely just on your longevity in the role. Compete on your relevance, your evolution, and your adaptability. And number 2 is update how you communicate. Now, many leaders over 40 still use that command style language. My team reports to me. I delegate tasks. It makes you sound old school in a world that values collaboration and influence. You should start using more strategic, inclusive language. So replace things like I manage with I enable. Replace I told my team to we elected to. Now it sounds subtle, but it is meaningful. A senior engineering manager that I started working with changed the phrasing in his quarterly presentation from my team delivered to our team achieved. And that subtle shift in language allows your peers to see you as a collaborative leader and not a controller. And so that engineering manager, he was actually asked to co-lead a transformation project because of his inclusive leadership tone. So you have to remember your words frame your leadership brand. So speak like a strategic collaborator and not a controller. So quick pause. So if this video is hitting home, give it a like and share it with someone over 40 who's working hard but maybe not moving up just yet. It helps more professionals see these videos and it builds the community of people who are actually taking control of their careers again. Number 3 is prove that you are still learning. Now, it's unfair to say this, but the biggest bias against professionals over 40 is this. It's that they're set in their ways. Now, we know that that's rarely true, but it's the perception that kills the opportunity. So it's absolutely vital that you actively demonstrate your curiosity. Share what you're learning, share you're experimenting with new tools, and talk about change with enthusiasm, not fear. Now, one of my clients was 45 years old, and she started positioning herself on LinkedIn talking about how she was using AI in manufacturing scheduling, how it cut their planning and production time by over 20%. It demonstrated that she was still learning and at the forefront of innovation. Now, with these short, subtle posts on LinkedIn, 6 months later, her own CIO asked her to lead a digital upskilling initiative because she'd become more visible as a learner. So you have to remember this. Curiosity is your promotion fuel. Show the world, show your employer, show your teams you are evolving faster than people expect. Pause this video and write down one new thing that you've learned this month. Can you share it with your team or your network? Even a simple insight, it shows you're evolving. So if this video is already making you rethink how promotions actually work after 40, hit the like button so I know to make more deep dive videos like this. And tell me in the comments, which of these shifts so far hits closest to home for you? Because the next one, it completely changes how leaders get noticed in 2026. So point number 4, use your experience as a currency. Now, most professionals over 40 underestimate just how valuable their reputation is. Think of it like this. You've got the experience, you've got the respect, and people trust your judgment. But if you don't leverage that, well, it's just going to fade into the background. But here's how to solve it. Start mentoring younger leaders, offering to support cross-departmental projects, or simply advising executives outside of your silo. Let others borrow your credibility and really lean into sharing that insight. Now, a plant operations lead began mentoring 2 younger managers from IT and supply chain. Within months, HR had invited him to help design the leadership development framework company-wide. Before, he'd kept his expertise within his own department, but after he started mentoring across the different silos, he actually became the go-to leader for these big initiatives and cross-functional leadership. And as a result, he actually got promoted into a director of operational excellence role. So you have to remember, your credibility is your career capital. Don't let it sit in the bank. Invest it where it's going to help you create new opportunities. And number 5 is rebrand your personal brand inside and outside the company. Now, too many high performers, they stay invisible. You might be respected, but if the decision makers don't see or hear your value, you are forgettable when promotion rounds hit, especially if you're remotely working. You have to be absolutely intentional about your visibility. Speak up at internal briefings, volunteer for transformational projects, share your lessons learned on LinkedIn, and really ensure that your direct manager can clearly articulate your impact. Now, one quality manager that I worked with, she was in her late 40s, and she started posting one short insight each week about what she was learning from leading global audits. No self-promotion, just value and insight. Before, her work was always known just inside and to her team. But once she started sharing about what she was learning, she really caught the attention of senior leadership. And as a result, her VP started inviting her into more strategy calls. And within months, she was actually promoted to a regional quality director. Now, you have to remember this. Don't assume your hard work speaks for itself. Market your value as intentionally as you deliver it, because your visibility is what gets you noticed. Now try this. Write down one way you could share your work or your insights more widely this month. Maybe inside your company or on LinkedIn. Where could you value be more visible? And finally, number 6, share that impact. Now, most professionals over 40, they wait for recognition, believing that the hard work automatically gets noticed. But as I said, and I assure you, in today's age, promotions go to those who qualify, quantify, and pitch their impact. Now, you can't just ask for a title promotion. You have to build a mini business case that says, here's what I've delivered, here's what I can own next, and here's the ROI for the business. Now, a senior PM that I work with, she built a 1-page case study showing how his process led to improvements, saving over £1.2 million annually. So instead of asking for promotion consideration, he actually pitched for an expanded remit and got the director title and pay rise to go with it, because he reframed himself from employee to strategic asset. You have to remember this. Promotions aren't just your employers giving you a reward. They're your employers investing in you. So the key is to show your impact, and you'll be seen as a strategic asset, not just another employee. So here's the takeaway. Getting promoted after 40 isn't about chasing more hours or proving your loyalty anymore. It's about staying relevant, communicating with impact, showing you're still learning, using your experience as currency, being visible, and leading through results, not just titles. So if you found this video helpful, hit subscribe and tap the like button now. I share new videos every week helping professionals over 40 stay promotable, visible, and ahead of the game in 2026 and beyond. So watch this video right here, the 9 habits that get you hired, and you'll walk into your next interview knowing exactly how to stand out.